If you're already on Medicare, you probably know that we're in the middle of the Medicare Open Enrollment period. It started on October 15th and ends on December 7th. I'm Beverly Harzog, and I'm talking about the changes that you can and cannot make during this open enrollment period. Plus, if your Medicare Advantage provider left Medicare, there's a special enrollment period and a warning that you need to know about. First, here are the type of changes you can make if you already have a Medicare Advantage plan, but if you want to change to a different Medicare Advantage plan, you can do that now. If you're already on original Medicare, that means you have Part A and B, and you have a Part D plan, which is prescription drug coverage. During open enrollment, you can switch from one Part D plan to a different Part D plan. During this time, you could also go from original Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan if that's what you want to do. That means you can choose a Medicare Advantage plan for the first time during this enrollment period. If your Medicare Advantage plan dropped out of Medicare, there's a special enrollment period from December 8th through February 28th, 2026. Any changes you make between December 8th and December 31st, your coverage is effective on January 1st. But changes you make during January will not take effect until February 1st. Changes you make in February take effect March 1st, 2026. I advise you to make a decision by December 31st, or you could end up with some coverage gaps since your previous Medicare Advantage plan is probably ending on December 31st. Now let's talk about what you cannot do during open enrollment. You cannot change from a Medicare Advantage plan, Part C, to original traditional Medicare. You also cannot shop for a new Medigap policy during open enrollment. That's not what this is for. And I cover that in more detail in a few minutes. But you can make the switch back to original Medicare during the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period. This period is from January 1st, 2026 to March 31st, 2026. And it's for those who are already enrolled in a Part C Medicare Advantage plan. During this period, you can make a change, such as going from one Medicare Advantage plan to a new plan if your provider left Medicare. Or you can change from Part C Medicare Advantage and return to original Medicare. Now, if you make that move, you'll need to enroll in Medicare Part D, a prescription drug plan, and get a supplemental or Medigap policy to limit out-of-pocket expenses. If you make changes during this time, coverage times can get dicey. Your insurance isn't effective until the first day of the month after the plan receives your request. Another fly in the ointment is switching to traditional Medicare and then trying to get a Medigap policy if you've gone past a certain window. There's an initial Medigap open enrollment period when you are first enrolled in Medicare Part B, and it only lasts for 6 months, and it's a one-time thing. It starts on the first month you have Medicare Part B, and when you're also 65 or older. Both of those things have to be true. During this window, you get special privileges. It's the only time you have guaranteed issuer rights. You can't be denied or charged based on your pre-existing conditions. Now, after that window, you may have to go through medical underwriting. So they may ask you questions. They may consider pre-existing conditions. And you could even be denied or charged more because of that. So this gets worse as you get older and have fewer options. Having said all that, you can change from Part C Medicare Advantage back to original Medicare and add a Plan D for drug coverage, but getting a Medigap policy after missing that 6-month window is just more complex. Not impossible, just more expensive and complex. You could apply for a Medigap policy any time of the year. Open enrollment really has nothing to do with that. There are also some exceptions to the guaranteed issuer rights, such as losing your Medicare Advantage plan because the provider left. That keeps coming up. There are other life events that might qualify you to apply for a Medigap policy and still get the guaranteed issuer rights. And I'm going to provide a link in the description so you can check that out and see if your situation might qualify you to get those rights again. There's one more step you need to take, and this is important so you don't end up regretting any of the choices you made during open enrollment. You need to look at your current coverage, and if you choose to make a change, do the research so you don't get any unpleasant surprises. You also need to review the coverage of your current Medicare Advantage plan to see if anything has changed. I know mine made some changes. I'm okay with it, but I'm glad to know about it. Make sure your Part D prescription drug plan covers your meds for next year. Reading about insurance coverage, that's probably one of the things I really dislike to do. But your health and finances depend on good choices you make during this time. So you need to push through the fine print. In fact, I want you to increase it as big as you need it to be so that you can see it and make sure it works for you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. If you want to complain, well, that's okay too. But please do not do it in all caps. I don't like that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.